Hello, Leo. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie, and this is your November 2022 Tarotscope. If you're curious about the decks that I'm using today, you can find a list of them in the description box below. You can also find links to my social media accounts, as well as links to information on personal readings and the Soul Good membership channel on Telegram. Please remember as we move through this reading that this is a general reading, not a personal reading, so please only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. I would like to apologize for my absence for the month of October. Honestly, I was just dealing with a lot of my own personal healing, and I really didn't have any extra space to be adding anything else on top of it. But I'm going to make up for it by time traveling back to October, seeing what you may have learned or healed, looking at how you may have grown, and then coming back into November, taking a look at what's come through for you for this month, how it might help you moving forward, and any guidance that you might need moving forward. So I'm really excited to see what comes through for you. I also would like to say that if you would like to jump ahead and skip through all of the shuffling, there will be a timestamp in the description box below for you to be able to do that. So let's jump in, Leo, and see what's going on. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, what did Leo learn or heal from in October 2022, please? What did Leo learn or heal from in the month of October 2022? Okay, thank you. Let's make sure none of them went on the floor. I don't see any. Okay. And how have you grown, Leo, because of these things? How have you grown because of the things you experienced? Wow. Okay, thank you. Is that it? Yeah, wow. Interesting. Only one card. All right, and what's coming through for you for the month of November, please? What's coming through for Leo for the month of November? Oh, wow. Holy cow. Give me just a second, friends, to grab those. I don't think any of these are part of your reading. There's way too many of them. Okay. There we go. Let's take a look now at how what's coming in this month will help you moving forward. So how will what Leo experiences, okay, yes, okay. You guys are like super easy. The cards are coming out so fast. It hasn't really been that way with too many of the other signs so far, so that's interesting. Can we have some guidance for Leo moving forward, please? What guidance does Leo need for November and beyond? What guidance does Leo need moving forward? Please. Guidance for, okay. Yep, okay. I feel like there's at least one more in here. Guidance for Leo moving forward, please. Any guidance Leo might need. All right. All of them. Okay. I was like, do I need to put some of those back? It's like, nope, all of them. So you have a lot of guidance moving forward, Leo. Okay, let me just get these moved to the side. All right, let's take a look at what came through for you in October. What did you learn or heal, Leo? You have here lineage of the rose, moved by the goddess, here for this, soul, call, and gather. Okay, so right away, I'm getting this energy with this here for this. I feel like many of you who may listen to this, I feel, have stepped into this new space where you're like, I'm totally here for this life thing, right? I feel like many of you are starting to really put both feet in, as it were, right? It feels like there's no more tiptoeing and dancing around the fucking edges of your purpose. There's no more stalling or procrastinating or, you know, fucking around and waiting to find out what happens. It really feels to me like you have, Leo, stepped into that very powerful space within your being where you are learning to enjoy this experience, where you're learning to navigate it with much more ease, where it doesn't feel like such a burden on you. Leos, you guys have such big hearts. And as a Leo sun and moon, I can totally relate to what's coming through here, right? I resonate with it based on what I experienced through the month of October. So, there's this element of like, this is who I am. This is what I'm here for. This is, you know, what I want to embody as a human being, and I'm here for it. I'm not going to allow somebody to convince me that I'm not enough, that I don't matter, that I'm incapable, or that I'm weak or afraid or any of that. I feel like there has been this beautiful transformation that's taken place within you where again you've fully stepped into this very I can't think of another word for it, but very powerful space within yourself. I feel like there's like, yes, thank you, Lord. I feel like you've claimed who you are, right? You're like, this is who I am. And that's it, right? And I think that's really beautiful. That being said, I feel like for many of you through the month of October, you could have actually gotten that soul call, right? Whether you realized that that's what it was or not, I feel like there's been like this nudging, right? Through the month of October where it's like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Or yeah, there's also an element here of following what you feel is true for you moment by moment, right? Being very present. And so I feel like there's also this other element of soul call in the sense of I'm listening to my intuition and what it tells me to do. So let's say you were planning on doing something and your intuition was like, no, you should just take a nap instead. I feel like you're like, okay, let me do that. Or you feel like you should meditate, so you do. You feel like you should go here, so you do, right? I feel like you're getting more comfortable following those nudges from your soul, those things that your soul is calling you to do, because I feel like you have come to some sort of understanding where you realize that doing those things aligns you, right? And even if you don't know what that means or you're not familiar with that terminology, I feel like it just feels better when you follow what you feel like you should be doing, right? So I feel like, again, through the month of October, many of you had this beautiful, beautiful opportunity to transform yourselves from within. And that is so fucking glorious. Okay, what else do we have here? We are nature. Okay, so let me just start by saying, first of all, I feel like this card specifically coming out, there's two aspects of this being, or two faces, right? Being one is I'm a human being on planet Earth. Okay. I'm living here. I'm doing the human things. I'm, just trying to live my life. And then on the other side of that coin, I feel like is the soul self, right? There's an element here of coming to some sort of understanding that you have many facets of who you are. One being those human sides of things, and another being the soul sides of things, which are also multifaceted, right? And I feel like there's this, again, beautiful acceptance or embodiment of being those things, right? Stepping into the fact that you are a part of nature on this planet as a human being, and that you are part of the cosmos as a soul, or part of, divine being as a soul having an experience here. Right. And I also feel like for many of you, you may have experienced a new level of being in the sense of realizing how connected everything is on this planet. And I feel like it's cracked open for some of you your heart space and has allowed you to embody or step further into living in that space of connection with everything around you. Right. You guys, this feels so amazing to me for those of you who resonate with this, because it feels to me like you are living, like you're really starting to really live, not just be alive, but to experience life in a whole new way that you've never experienced life before. And I feel like through this, I feel like you've been quite surprised at how you feel about it all, right? I feel like it's touched you in a way that it's like you can't go back now, right? It's completely altered you. And I feel like there's almost like Interestingly enough, it almost feels like I'm now addicted to feeling this way. Right? Even though you understand to some degree that to be able to do that, you have to be willing to look at yourself. You have to be willing to navigate your healing. You have to be willing to take accountability and responsibility for yourself, what you experience, your intentions, etc. Right? So even though there is that aspect of challenge there, I still feel like there's this element of really appreciating life for everything that it has to offer, whether that's good, bad, or ugly. Because I feel like many of you are starting to learn or have started to see that this is a learning experience and it is what you make of it. You can take those challenges and look at them as something bad or as being punished or what have you, or you can see them as a beautiful gift from the universe to show you this is what needs to change in order for you to align further with everything you want to experience, with everything that life has to offer, the beauty that life has to offer, right? And as well as opening yourself up further to who you truly are from a divine soul place. Okay? This is absolutely fucking beautiful, Leo. I just looked up too and we're at 1111. So again, I feel like you guys have reached a new level. Right? I don't know what that means for you. It probably means something very different for each of you listening to this, but I feel like you've reached a new level of sorts. You know, you've uncovered a new part of yourself, and are experiencing life from that place. And I feel like it's like this is super foreign to me, but it's absolutely beautiful, right? Wow. I think this is like one of the more powerful readings that I've had so far. Oh my gosh, you guys, you cannot make this shit up. Seriously. So how have you grown? You're happier now. End of story. You've learned how to create a world that is, or rather, that brings you happiness, that makes you feel fulfilled, right? And I'm not saying that you have all the things figured out, okay? I'm not saying that your life is perfect or anything, right? But I feel like you've just learned how to navigate life differently and not allow external bullshit to sway you, to shake you, to knock you off of feeling good. It's like, listen, Linda, I don't care if you're over here, which by the way, no offense to anyone if you're listening and your name is Linda. But listen, it doesn't matter to me what's going on in your world. That's not happening in mine. And I'll be damned if you're going to drag me down with you. Right? It's like, I'm sorry, like that's your experience. Fine. But I'm over here living my best life or doing to the best of my ability, or rather, living my best life to the best of my ability, right? Embracing happiness for what it is. And I think a lot of you are probably discovering as well that happiness lies far outside the realms of what we've been taught. So, like money, material possessions, status, influence, etc., 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 right? All of the fucking bullshit things that we've been taught, I feel like we're learning that's not what's going to make me happy. It's not. Sure, money can help, but it's not gonna, it is not going to bring me fulfillment, right? So I feel like many of you have moved into this much more happy state of being where it's starting to become your new norm. And I don't mean that you're, like I'm saying, or rather, like I was saying, I don't mean that you wake up every morning ecstatic for your day, or that, again, life is all like rainbows and butterflies every day. But I feel like you have this profound understanding of life is what the fuck I make it, and I'm choosing to be happy. Right? Damn, I love this so much for you guys. This is amazing. And if none of that resonates with you, I don't know if this is your reading. At least not for October, right? Because it is coming through me. The energy is so powerful coming through me. Like it is without a doubt. Like there's no, it might be this. No, like this is what it is, right? So again, if you're not resonating with this, then this part of the reading, looking back to October, may not be for you. Okay, let's look at what's coming in, or what has come in for November, excuse me. We have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Yeah, again, I feel like what you've learned through the month of October, I feel like is just kind of um, pouring into November as well. I feel like you are continuing to surrender to what life has to offer, just allowing yourself to move through it and navigate it to the best of your ability, right? Not putting too much burden on yourself with what you're carrying or what you're experiencing, right? I just feel like you're like, okay, this is where we're going, fine, right? And it doesn't feel naive or reckless to me or impulsive or foolish. It just feels like, listen, I know that there are powers that be moving and orchestrating things behind the scenes that I may not understand. I realize that when I surrender to life, to God, to the universe, whatever, that my experience is that much better. And so why would I do anything else? So as these extremes of life, as the world around you, right? Your external world is going through all of this fuckery, right? All of these extremes, all of these things. It's kind of like this energy of, okay, like I see you, I see it, I'm observing it, but I'm choosing not to sit in it. I'm just surrendering to what it is and letting universe work out the details, right? So that's what it feels like for November. Um, for others of you, if you feel like the month of November is a hectic, chaotic one, right? If it feels very turbulent, there is a message here for you to surrender to what is happening around you. You don't have to sink into those things. Let the universe work it out, right? Only, how do I word this? It's like, don't put energy into things that you cannot control, that are not meant for you to be handling anyways, right? So, things that are taking place externally, like, why do you need to get involved in them if it's going to bring you things or make you feel something that is anything other than happiness or joy? Right now, I understand that we experience things and have to heal things, and some of those things are painful, some of those things are challenging. But if it's not in your immediate field, if it's not something that is affecting you directly right now in this moment, right, why are you worried about it? Why? You're only putting burden on yourself, which isn't meant to be yours anyways, which is likely to bring you more of that chaos, more of that, it feels very destructive or um like an upheaval, right? So you're only going to bring more of that about if you focus on it. You create consciousness patterns and the universe brings back to you wherever you're sitting, right? So why choose to be in that energy if it's not what you want, right? You also have, for November, your life. You guys, you can't make this shit up. You really fucking can't. Your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. Again, I feel like it's just kind of flowing through very beautifully and it feels very smooth, right? Like, I don't even know how to word it, how it's being shown to me. It's smooth, like if you were dumping like oil from one container to another, right? It's like very smooth and very easy is what it feels like, right? It may be thick at times, maybe a little quicker sometimes, but it feels very smooth, right? And I feel like this is just a continuation because I feel like you are, what is the word I'm looking for, please? It's like you're honing in on or oh my gosh, I don't even know how to word it. It's like you're honing in on or tweaking. No, not tweaking. That's not it. Utilizing, right? Like I feel like you're utilizing the things you've learned and applying them to your everyday, which is why it feels so smooth, right? I feel like there's very little resistance here. And so it feels like through the month of November, you are intentionally you're being very mindful of your thoughts, your actions, how you feel, right? where your energy is sitting, because it's like, I know that I'm creating my own reality. And so I'm going to be very intentional about what I'm putting out into the universe, what I'm sitting in, what I'm allowing to, yeah, what I'm allowing access to me, because I know that these things influence my reality. They influence how I feel, how I move through life. And so there's this element here, Leo, of you taking creative accountability as a co creator of your reality and are choosing to put out certain energies, right? Happiness, joy, love, right? Like surrender, all of these things. And I think it's fucking glorious, because essentially you've taken the brush, if you will, out of the hands of the trauma, the programming, the wounding, the bullshit, and have taken it back into your own hands and are like, no, 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 no. This shit is not controlling my life anymore. I am now deciding, I'm taking that brush into my own hands and I am creating the life that I want to experience without all of that shit. Okay? So again, it feels like you've reached a new level and it feels so freeing. Like, I really, really hope that anybody who listens to this is in this space, because oh my gosh, it's absolutely fucking glorious. So from the tarot, right? How is this going to help you? How are these things that are coming through for the month of November going to help you moving forward? I want to say, I feel like there's some fear coming up. Okay. So I feel like there are some things, pardon me, that you could find yourself facing, right? Fears that you could find yourself facing. But I feel like you're going to be able to move through them so much easier now, because you have this understanding and you've stepped into it or radically accepted it. And so, even though I feel like the fears come up, I feel like there's this part of you that's like, I know if I just face this fear and move through it, it's going to be that much easier, regardless of how afraid of it I am, right? Versus just resisting it. I feel like you've learned that resisting things doesn't bring anything good. And so there, it's like, in the face of fear, I'm still going to keep going. Okay. So we do have the Four of Pentacles in reverse here. Yes, you guys, again, I feel like you're breaking free from, or how is this going to help you moving forward? I feel like it's going to keep you out of that possessive kind of energy, right? Like, I feel like you're in this space where it's, if it's not meant for me, I'm just letting it go, right? Again, very little resistance coming through, even through the cards. It's wild, but it's a beautiful fucking space to be in, because at that point, right, when these things don't have a hold over you, like, you're free. You're a sovereign soul. When money doesn't have a hold over you, when your possessions don't have a hold over you, when your past traumas and wounding and ego don't have a hold over you, you're fucking free. When you can think for yourself versus thinking what people tell you to think, the programming, right? You're fucking free. Damn, this is awesome. Like, I can't say it enough. I am so fucking thrilled for you. The Hanged Man in reverse. So interesting, because I feel also how are you growing, right? I feel like you're no longer sacrificing yourself, sacrificing your needs, your wants. You know what I'm saying? And there's also a fear, or rather, there's also this element of releasing the fear of needing to sacrifice things, because there's no attachment, right? It's like, if it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's meant to stay, it'll stay. So I don't need to fear the sacrifice. I don't need to, worry about that anymore. But again, I also feel like there's this message of no longer sacrificing the things that make you happy, the things that bring you joy, right? It's very interesting to me how this is coming through. I also feel like you're releasing that stalling. I don't feel like you'll be stalling anymore either. right? Again, like I was saying, like there's no more procrastinating. It's like, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing, and I'm just doing it. This is awesome. The way these messages are coming through are so amazing. Yep. And indecision goes by. Right? The stalemate, or like I was saying, the stalling is no more. This is how you've grown. This is how it's going. Also, if you feel, right, if you don't resonate with this, like, yes, I'm in this place, right, and you feel more like you are susceptible to those external things, or to your ego, or to your wounding or traumas or any of that, you have an incredibly profound fucking opportunity right now to change all of it. To change all of it. To move out of being possessive or greedy or stingy, to move out of needlessly sacrificing anything, right? Also, the fear of sacrificing things. So think about this. It's really fascinating. Let me just pause for a moment with this Two of Swords, right? So if you're still in this space of, I haven't quite got a hold on this yet, which is perfectly fine. By the way, where you're at is perfect for you. Know that, okay? But if you're still in that space, I feel like you have the opportunity to let go of the attachment to things and not be so afraid of letting things go, right? I feel like you have the opportunity to move out of making these difficult choices and allowing things to just be what they are, which is going to in turn bring you so much more fucking peace as you move through this experience, right? Because with this Two of Swords, I always feel like with this card, she's supposed to be following her intuition, right? Which is why her fucking eyes are blindfolded. That's how I feel about this intuitively, okay? And I feel like when you're not listening to your intuition and you're trying to logically figure shit out and using only logic, it doesn't fucking work. Right? It doesn't fucking work. You end up stalled. You end up being indecisive because your fucking mind will run you in circles all motherfucking day. And you will get tired before it does. I promise you. Right? So I feel like you have the opportunity to move out of that. Now, if you are on this train where you're like, hell yeah, I'm in this space where I'm feeling really, really good, where I'm feeling like I am taking control of my own life, where I feel like I am being co-creative, right? I feel like you are moving out of that space. You're growing or moving forward in the sense of no longer allowing indecision, or rather, yeah, it feels like, no, I'm not even sitting about, oh, what should I do? What should I do? It's like, what does my intuition say? And then I'm going with that, whatever that is, however it looks, right? And it doesn't matter how that impacts people externally. I'm not saying that you should not be mindful of how your choices impact others. However, if it's a choice that is best for your well-being, right? And it's coming from a space of love, pure love for yourself, right? It's you're not going to sit around and fucking, should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? It's like, no, I'm just gonna, I see it. Okay, what do I do? My intuition says this. We're going that way. End of story. Fucking yeah. I am here for this, you guys. This is so awesome. So, like I was saying, you have 6 messages coming through, or guidance rather, for moving forward throughout the month of November and beyond. The first one here has what appears to be an angel of some sort on the front, and it says, with love. Dearest you, we are gathering our magic to help you celebrate your new beginning. Are you fucking kidding me? You cannot make this shit up. My mind is blown every day doing this, and I love it. You're stepping into a new version of your life, getting to tell a new story as you create it. Doesn't it feel like spring when the urge to expand wells up inside you from a primal place? The form of what you are growing has yet to take shape, and it is exciting to experience this new and fresh beginning. It's normal to feel both push and push back when entering any new kind of relationship. It's okay to admit you don't really know what to expect. What you can know is it's time to dive in and allow that new version of life to take shape through you on behalf of your partner in life. Spirit, you have made it. Ooh, y'all. Like, for real. And I'm not doing that to be sarcastic. I'm just not clapping real loud because I don't want to like hurt your guys' ears. But like, fuck yes. You have made it to a new level of awakening and contributing. And we are so excited to see where this will take you next. We're so proud of you. I'm excited to see where this is going to take you next. You guys, at the very least, if nothing else, if you get nothing else from this reading at all, I really pray that you find hope. And if not, like, check your pulse, because I don't know how you couldn't feel hopeful, right? Unless you're completely closed off and shut down to the possibility of good things happening or things changing, right? I don't know how you couldn't feel hope. You also have here, you are divine beauty with, looks like a fairy on the front, I think. It says here, dearest you, we have a secret to share with you. If you act as if all is well, it will be. Act as if you are brave and you will have courage. Act as if you are loved and you will be a magnet for love and experience the love of spirit. Act as if your prayers have been answered, as if you are truly in sync with good fortune. How you think is how you will see the world. Are you serious? Was I not just talking about this? Fucking wild. Okay, how you think is how you will see the world, interact with it, and draw conclusions from it. If you want to be the person who has the life you want, co-creating and loving what is yours, you need to start acting as if that were truth. Don't worry about the conditions in your life that seem empty or cavernous, chaotic or barren. These are temporary and don't even count. Defy them and act as if you're the luckiest person on the planet. You will be, for you already are. That's the real secret. You are infinite potential. Loving you so much, rainbows explode in the ether. You guys, this is like, I am gonna go out on a limb here and say that I feel like as you move forward, you're just going to feel blessed, right? And I'm not saying necessarily that that's going to show up in the form of material things like money or possessions, things like this, though it's possible. I feel like you are just going, if you allow yourself, right? I feel like you're going to sit in this position as you move forward of feeling truly blessed. And I feel like spirit, God, source is supporting you fully for the work you've done, right? It's like you've paid your dues, as it were. So enjoy that, reap what you've sowed. Or, yeah, yes. So this is, I think there's like what looks to be a kid, actually, or a child of some sort, with a tambourine on the front. And you guys, I read these because there may be extra little signs in there for some of you, right? Which is why I go through what's on the front of the card. It says here, dearest you, we are sending you waves of love and joy as we watch you. Oh my God. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I get my mind blown like regularly. Okay, so let me start that again because holy shit, banana balls, Batman. We are sending you waves of love and joy as we watch you reap the rewards of your tenacity and faith. We know how long it has taken for you to reach some of your goals and that you've had disappointments along the way. Right now, we suggest you take a deep breath and fill yourself up with gratitude and tune in to the vibration of well-being. Temporary conditions may be trying to hypnotize you into seeing something else as your reality, but we know that happy rewards are on their way to you even now. Change is the only constant, so be open to it. You will achieve your dreams and more, we promise. But more important, your happy rewards will be gathered up in the small moments, the gentle breezes, the soft kisses, and the quiet commitments. Your happiest moments will be on the journey itself, not in arriving at any destination. You are surrounded by so much love and care. Can you feel us? Right? So, again, there's that message here of being in control of your own reality, in the sense of, I'm not going to allow external things to knock me off of what I'm feeling. I'm not going to allow it to make me feel some type of way. I'm going to decide. And yes, yes. Like, what? You guys, this is freaking awesome. I can't say it enough. The next card you have here says celebrate life, and there's a beautiful butterfly in the center, which is a symbol of transformation that may be important to you. Maybe butterflies are your thing, right? The message on this card, right? So just a reminder as we move through these cards here, these are guidance for you moving forward, right? So as you move through November and beyond, keep these things in mind. Come back to it if you need to, right? You have a unique purpose and destiny that only you can fulfill. But first, you need to know that destiny isn't a destination. You don't arrive at some place special where, poof, you're perfect and happy all the time. It's about establishing and firming up a commitment, oh my gosh, to a certain experience, whatever form that takes. Your soul knows what you need to experience. Your destiny is to be present to all of life's adventures, to discover your talents and full potential through allowing inspiration to lead you, and to risk standing apart from the crowd to listen to your soul. Okay, that's not the whole card, but are you fucking kidding me? Because that's basically like the whole reading, or not the whole reading, but a vast majority of the reading that we went through prior to jumping into these cards. Blows my mind. Okay. You are special as much as you are also paradoxically one with the world. Individual, yet part of a great whole. Both truths have led you to this moment. Yes, they have. I felt that in my soul. Where we are saying you are on the right track, even if your ego self doesn't see that. Listen to your soul. Check in with spirit. Keep going. Spirit loves you. Life loves you. We love you. You guys. I mean, like, I cannot even express the energy that I have, or rather that's coming through me, that I'm feeling for you right now. There are not fucking words. There truly aren't, or at least not in my limited vocabulary, okay? It is so fucking powerful, the energy that's coming through for you guys. And I pray to God that you feel this, you pick up on it, and you fucking run with it. Because I feel like amazing, amazing things could result from doing so. So below, even if the cards didn't say what they're saying, I still feel that energy coming through. This card says you shine beautifully, and there's a moon and stars on the front. I don't know why. I feel like somebody might have a tattoo similar to that. I don't know why I just felt like that. It's weird. If you do, this is for you, okay? Dearest you, all your prayers are heard and mirrored back to you from the unseen realms. Be grateful. Praise things before they manifest, and always ask for the highest good. When you plead and beg, that will bring only more reasons to plead and beg. Instead, offer your prayers as sacred gifts, as a testament to your faith in a higher power. Open up and let Spirit move through you and comfort you. Add meditation as a way to become empty so you will be ready to be filled with inspired epiphanies, peace, understanding, and joy. In this moment, your prayers are being answered for the highest good of both you and all life. Sometimes what you pray for is not supposed to happen for you, and your prayers will be answered in surprising ways. At this moment, we are listening intently to your prayers and want you to know that your highest good is our priority. All is well. Right? So I feel like there's this element here of, if as you move forward, right, keep in mind that if you are asking for things that are not showing up, that's God's protection, right? If you're not getting what you're asking for, it's because God is saying to you, that is not meant for you. I know you may think that it is, but I see things from a much grander perspective, and I want you to know that's not for you. But here's something else that is for you, okay? And your final message, moving forward, has a dragonfly on the front and says, you are magic. The message is this: dearest you, there are times when loss is a part of life. Sometimes a loss is welcome, like when you leave a situation not in alignment with your highest good. Sometimes a loss is sudden and painful, like when a loved one crosses over to our dimension. Regardless of the nature of the loss and your control over it, your experience is asking to be acknowledged. Tears are necessary, as is grief. When you repress the natural expression of loss and try to move on too quickly, the unprocessed pain haunts you in destructive ways. We don't want that for you. Instead, let your heart break wide open. Feel the loss and integrate it. See the beauty that was, the lessons learned, and know that as you let go of what has passed, ever more of you remains. It gets better, we promise. Your heart expands with more compassion for the world than ever before. Love heals all. We are loving you, sending you love, always and forever. Okay, so I want to take a moment and say that I feel like there is an element of that message we just read, letting you know, especially for those that haven't gotten comfortable with this quite yet, okay, or haven't experienced it yet. When you start to level up, okay, when you start to step into who you truly are from a soul space, the bits of you that you've built yourself upon that are based upon your trauma, your wounding, your programming, your ego, okay? When those things start to, how do I word this? When you start to realize that those are not who you are and you start healing them, there comes a space where you feel like you've lost all of yourself, right? Especially if you're a bit older, right? I'm not saying like you have to be old to experience this or older to experience this. Like, I'm in my mid 30s, and for me, I have lost a lot of who I once was, right? And that can be very challenging, right? You mourn the person you once were, okay? Because again, a lot of times we build ourselves upon all of these things that aren't really us to begin with. And then when we take that away, we don't know who the fuck we are. And then you grieve that person that was you, right? So there's that aspect of that coming through. And I felt like I needed to share that with you because the loss may not be something external, though it's possible, right? You could absolutely be experiencing loss in the sense of people or relationships or experiences or situations because they're not meant for you, right? But when you experience that loss on an internal level, it's something completely different. It's a whole nother realm of loss. Okay. So I just felt like I should kind of warn you, if you will, or prepare you for that if you've not experienced it yet. Okay. If you have, right, and you're in this space of being, you know, okay with losing these things, I do feel like there's an element here of you could through the month of November experience losing these bits of yourself and grieving those bits of yourself. Okay. And maybe you're listening to this now like, oh shit, I've been through that. I know I have this month already. 100%. I actually just talked about this with my membership group. So, it's absolutely possible for you to, feel like you're a little bit more of an aware being or an aware soul and still experience this sort of loss, because some of the things that came up for me, which I had to let go of, were deep seated things that I'd been holding really, really tightly to and didn't even realize that I was still carrying. Okay. So just be prepared for that. You guys, it has been an absolute pleasure to read for you. I've loved every minute of this. Thank you so much for being here. If there was something in this reading that resonated with you, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, and or subscribing. It really does help the channel to grow and tells YouTube, hey, there might be something here for someone else to see. So I really, truly do appreciate it. I am sending you so, 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 so much love, the biggest of hugs. Please know that whatever you experience, you absolutely have got this, and God's got you. I love you so much. Take care of your beautiful, beautiful soul. Have an incredibly powerful fucking month, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.